So with this one, what's our very first issue? We don't have common denominators. So this 1 that's by itself, you can just write over 1. So I have to get a common denominator. What can I make 3, 2, and 4, and 1 all be by multiplying by something? Make them all be 12. So this first 3 I'm going to have to multiply by 4. So I'm going to go 5b over 3, and I'm going to multiply it by 4 on the top and the bottom. Because when you multiply on the top and the bottom, it's like multiplying by 1. It'll be 4 over 4, and that doesn't change the equation. Plus, and then we have 9b over 2. Now we're going to multiply it by 6 over 6. Minus 7b over 4. We're going to multiply by 3 and 3 to make 12. And then plus 1 over 1. We're going to multiply by 12 over 12. Are there any non-permissible values in this question? No, our denominator doesn't have a variable or a letter in it, right? So there's no non-permissible values. So on the top, I have 20b over 12 plus what's 6 times 9? 54 over 12, b over 12, minus 21b over 12, plus, what we end up with? 12 over 12, right? Then we can put them all together. So it's all over 12, and we can go 20 plus 54, b is 74, minus 21 is 53, b, plus 12. The 12 has to stay at the back because we can't put it together because it doesn't have a b. You guys tried D. What common denominator can I get, Bree? 12 again, yeah. So this first one, Mason, what do I times it by? 2. Joe, next one, what do I times it by? 3. Coleman, what's the last one? Yeah, 4. So I'm going to get, the catch here is that you have to distribute this number into both, right? So I'm going to get 6y minus 4 over 12 plus 3y plus 15 over 12 minus 8y minus 12 all over 12. Now when we write these, if it has a plus sign in between them, you don't need the brackets, right? Because if you add in a positive one, it's not going to change it. But the negative one, you do. So we're going to have 6y minus 4 plus 3y plus 15 minus 8y minus 12 all over 12. Now that minusing 8y minus 12, all you're really doing is you're going to have a positive 12, a negative 8, and then you're adding them, right? It just changes all the signs behind. So you can do that in another step, but I don't have a lot of room, so I'm going to do that. Now we collect like terms. 6y plus 3y minus 8y. 6y plus 3y is 9, minus 8y is y, 1y. Then I have minus 4 plus 15 is 11, and then this is a plus 12 now. 11 plus 12 is positive 23 over 12. Did everyone else get that? Okay. This one says A rectangle has dimensions 3x plus 1 over 2, 2x minus 3 over 5. Find its perimeter. Perimeter is like if you were fencing in a cattle pen. It's going around the outside, right? It's like if I just walked around the perimeter of this room, pretend I am, I'm not. I could walk around the perimeter of this room. All right. So if we want to walk around this, we're going to need this length plus this length, which are the same. This length plus this length, right? So you can either add them all separately, or you could do 2 of these lengths plus 2 of these widths, right? Doesn't matter which one's the length and width. Is it going to change it? No. So we can go perimeter equals 2 times 3x plus 1 over 2 plus 2 times 2x minus 3 over 5. So we could technically cancel those 2's off right away, just weirdly enough because the denominator of the 1 is the 2. And then it's going to cause us to have less work distributing in, so we can cross those off. Cannot do that here. They're stuck. So we have perimeter equals 3x plus 1 over 1 technically, plus 4x minus 6 over 5. No. Jalen, what can I make the common denominators be? No, because it would be 2 over 1. You're right, Jalen, with the 5. But you don't distribute the 2 to the bottom as well because it's over 1. Yeah, and you're right with 5. So we'll times this one by 5 over 5. And then this one we could times by 1 over 1, but that's just more work to get us nowhere. So we're going to get 15x plus 5 over 5 plus 4x minus 6 over 5. Then we could go 15x plus 5 plus 4x minus 6 over 5. And then we can collect like terms. So we have 15x plus 4x, 19x, plus 5 minus 6, negative 1 over 5. So that would be the perimeter. P equals. Okay. Now we just want to determine the lowest common denominator. On the other ones, it was just numbers, right? So we could try and make them be the same. In this case, we have 3x plus 2, which is by itself. There's nothing I can take out of it. It's attached to the plus sign, so it would be in its own brackets, right? And then we have a 3a squared. The 3 would be in its own brackets. The a squared would be in its own brackets. So technically, I have 3a plus 2 is one factor. I have a 3, and I have an a squared. The only way I can make both of them have a 3a plus 2 is by putting a 3a plus 2 in both of them, right? So I would have to multiply this one by 3a plus 2, technically. This one has a 3 and an a squared, so I'd have times this one by 3 and a squared. So you actually have to multiply them by everything in order to get a common denominator. So 3a squared times 3a plus 2. A lot of people say, well, can't I just add a 2 to the 3a squared and somehow miraculously get rid of an a? No. The only way you can make common denominators is by multiplying. So if you're saying, can I just add a 2 in order to make it a common denominator? No, because the only way you're allowed to make common denominators is by multiplying by something. And multiplying by a negative 2 is going to make it negative 6a squared. It's not going to make it any way better, closer to what the other one was. Okay? So sometimes making common denominators is not nice or pretty. It's going to make something that's not very nice. So this doesn't match anything here yet, so maybe I'll distribute it and see. 3a squared times 3a is 9a cubed, because you add the exponents. 3a squared times 2 is positive 6a squared. And now it matches. My hint to you for number 2 when you try and find the lowest common denominator is take a 3 out of the first denominator on the left, and you'll have a difference of squares. So try it out.